Smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
Yes, sir. Dub is here. All right, guys. So there's been a lot going on lately on Twitter with me and QueenzFlip. But let me break this down for you guys, all right? So QueenzFlip has made a name for himself, causing chaos and producing immature content that some may deem as funny or others and many, African American people may see as ignorant, hurting the culture, lowering the property value, and just not positive, right? There is a large Joe Budden community on Twitter, Reddit, Clubhouse, Discord, and many other platforms. But the X community, formerly known as Twitter, has been a little bit more meaningful to the Joe Budden podcast because the content creators like myself of the podcast resonate there, along with the core of some of his fans. However, QueenzFlip took his frustrations one day on one of Joe's biggest supporters to bully them into not making content about him unless it puts Flip in a positive light. And Flip tried to put guidelines on that person's content. Now, just to give a little more context, before this happened with QueenzFlip and the supporter, Joe Budden formulated a small crew in the community called WeWorks, where he engaged in content creation and jokes, which is always fun, and he even speaks about some of the things that happen on X Spaces on his podcast. The reason I mention that is because I'm one of the content creators that advocate for the WeWork group at times, really all the time, big WeWorks, right? Another time, QueenzFlip tried to bully one of the Joe Budden supporters. This is for the second time now. This time, it was about posting a shirt that he thought, the supporter thought that Flip's company was selling as merch, right? He thought Flip's company was selling a shirt that had QueenzFlip face on it with the eyes crossed out. QueenzFlip said that the kid is trying to play with him and promote the devil with his face on it, and came up with a narrative. The kid did not have any bad intent at all, but QueenzFlip, made a crazy narrative that the kid did, but that was false. The kid apologized. Flip didn't even want to accept the apology at all. You know what I'm saying? He told the kid that he wanted to put physical harm on him, on a Joe Budden supporter. These exchanges happened. They happened on Twitter Spaces, a few months ago. Now, Dub was in that space. I'm Dub, right? I asked QueenzFlip, how can you be mad at this person for asking if you are selling this merch that may be deemed devilish, right? But you wear a brand called Hellstar every day. That's a major contradiction. You wear shirts that say Hellstar on it, so you want to be the star of hell. But yet you're mad at someone asking a question about a shirt that was posted about you online that had your face with the eyes crossed out or whatever. Flip agreed, and he cooled down and then spoke with his mom, who made him chill out and said that, that's not right, and she doesn't feel offended about a lot of other things, and, he should just chill out. So he chilled out on that one, right? The supporter, right, who was also a content creator, made another video about the Joe Budden podcast, but he was speaking about Flip's absence on the pod and, the contributions that Flip makes and that he thinks are not needed, right? And Flip used that video to try and spark a beef with the supporter and said whoever wants to stand up for him can go to the Frank stand, right? That means that he's inviting anybody to his private parts, right? And, that's disrespectful to say to any man, to any person rather, right? And he's told the people that they can get beat up if they want to take up for the supporter in real life. And then QueenzFlip hosted a Twitter Spaces coming at me personally and other content creators of the WeWorks. The title of his Twitter Spaces room was, "Are you a groupie or a leech?" He was referring to all the people who make content off the Joe Budden podcast and asking us, are we groupies or leeches? Before that Spaces took place, he brought me up on his Instagram live, and when I was smiling about, what was going on, and I was about to get my point off, he took me off stage and called me all types of immature names and derogatory claims because he was having a bad day. And he just admitted that to Joe Budden the other day, right? But then he calmed down when he found out that I knew one of his friends. So now, based off the Twitter spaces he made taking shots at me, I made a reaction video with my thoughts on how he can be deemed as a groupie or a leech when doing his content. Even if he has a relationship with these people in the streets, it was built off of fandom, which can be deemed as a groupie or leech behavior because you're using another celebrity's success to further your own. He took that video I made of him as a direct shot and said he is going to come look for me and smack me, and told me my grandmother could die, that he would spit on my mother's face, piss on my kids, etc. So at first I took that as a joke because I'm like, this is the type of content he produces and this can't be serious. But then he said it again, where I had to take it as a serious offense and feel like I deserve a public apology because my content never was directed to his family or to any disrespect to him, but to the content that he is producing. However, he made it more serious and actually came to my place of business while I wasn't there. So, I've been building my followers, subscribers, and viewership, and the location that I'm in, I have some people that do watch my content, and they was watching along the whole time. So when Flip pulled up, they knew and they told me that he was there, and they went outside to confront him. When they went outside, to confront Flip, they wanted to see if he, would match their energy. But the person told me that he actually brought his son up there and another guy. But I was more disappointed at him for bringing his son there after disrespecting me in such a manner. But I'm happy that the person who was there in place of me didn't escalate the situation, because I feel like that would have been immature and not the actions of a true grown man. Flip always prides himself on being from the hood, but so am I. But he glorifies the true things that I think black men shouldn't be doing, which is promoting ignorant hood behavior or the hood mentality in the black culture. And that's more of the content that Flip produces. I tried to interview QueenzFlip after the Imani interview I did, and I reached out to one of his friends, but was told that Flip doesn't do interviews and they stay away from him when it comes to doing content now because he has a one-track mind and only listens to himself, which they didn't really like at the time, but understands his ways and just moves on. However, once they told me he doesn't do interviews, I fell back and just kept creating my reaction videos that I love to do now. In doing so, it caught his attention. I guess when you're good at something and on the rise, things like this do occur. But I would assume that Flip coming to my location would be proof of how good my work is, but also to his level of immaturity. He first told me to come to his studio address a few weeks ago and told me he knows my address because his friend told him. But I wouldn't waste my time to actually promote that type of look on my channel or any online platform for that matter. I'm trying to actually steer people away from that because there are many ways to keep yourself busy or out of trouble. When QueenzFlip publicly said all those nasty remarks about my family and myself, I was pissed, but not pissed to the point to crash out, to go seek him and risk my freedom or not seeing my family over words. However, he came once to my location and I wasn't there. But what if I was and I had to defend myself? This could have been a whole different scenario. QueenzFlip is playing a nasty game, thinking he can play the disrespectful internet game with people and think they will conform to his ways of handling things, which may lead to negative outcomes like jail, investigations, or even an unlikely demise. And I don't think that's worth it, but disrespect on his end will not be tolerated from me, and nor will I ever have a conversation with him because it already led to a place where I know in real life he really doesn't want it to go because he came with cameras and a tripod at first. That's my man told me he had a tripod out there. He thinks I'm just an internet guy that's trolling and doesn't stand on respect. And this can't escalate, but it can. But I still don't think that's warranted unless, someone is trying to actually harm me or they actually put physical harm on me, or stop my money or something like that, but he can't. So, it is what it is. I will still continue to create content based off the Joe Budden podcast and any podcast. But I told Joe Budden he may need to tell his staff to chill out. Joe Budden said he doesn't have to do anything but stay black and die. And when Joe said that, I said, you know what? You right, sarcastically. You right. Don't do anything. You don't got to do nothing. Just do that. But, QueenzFlip is moving in a way that, if I hired him, you know what I'm saying? I will put a stop to it. The public aspect of it, and make it look good due to the young viewership. You can't you can't talk about drill music, right, being bad, then have a person up there that imitates the acts of drill music and spinning. It just doesn't correlate. Now, Joe Budden did hype up QueenzFlip in this situation by telling him that I was looking for him and that QueenzFlip doesn't want no problems with me. And, that may have given him a little bit more fuel to come looking for me. I don't know. Look at the files.
Yo, Joe, you be hyping shit, Joe. Something wrong with you, Joe.
Nah, I'm chilling.
You be hyping shit.
Chilling.
You be hyping shit.
He don't go outside because them niggas
Yo.
going to find him outside, dubbing them.
Facts. Facts. I've been outside for the past 3 weeks.
Nah, but
I've been
we
at
looking
that.
in the background. I see the mad white people and valet niggas. You don't want no smoke with Dub. Chill.
I-
Yeah,
Oh wait, that's what you looking for? You looking for Dub?
this nigga's crazy.
Oh shit. Yo, Flip, go home, man. What the fuck are you doing? This
Yo,
nigga, come
no,
hang out, man.
it's Joe's fault.
Everything is Joe's fault.
Joe Joe going on spaces with these niggas, having these niggas about, yo, Flip ain't trying to find me. Flip ain't trying to find me. Flip ain't out here. Oh, all right, all right. I try to keep that shit low. I went there twice. I try to keep it low and respectful. I went to
But
the gym.
what? I mean, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
No, nothing like
Cause
that. No,
it,
no, no, nothing like that. No, no, no.
but
It's
just to
just
talk, like just to go talk.
I feel like when I feel like I keep being asked this question, I'ma say it. I feel like the dub dude had reached out to my man and said he wanted to interview me and talk to me. He reached out to
Hmm.
somebody I know as a good friend of mine. My man told him how I was, but because he said my man name, I entertained the conversation with him. Like, oh, okay, you know my man.
Oh,
So
okay.
when he went on the internet and he was talking about me, I forgot what he said, but it was something that I thought that was disparaging. Like I'm a lame, I'm corny, or some shit. I was like, all right, now you playing with me because you use my man to holler at me, and then you talking about me crazy. So then now, if that's the case, cool, you tangible. Come tell me that to my face, so I can show you what happened when you
He
talk to me.
came up
And that's
there
just what it
last
is.
night, but Jim and Freaky Zeke ain't let him in. But he was up there
Who? Where?
last night.
I was in there.
They didn't
When?
let him up. He came out there looking for you.
Yo, Flip, if you let this nigga gas you,
Why is he, yo, why do anybody ever listen to me? Anybody.
yo,
Are you crazy, son?
yo, Flip, that nigga is trying to gas you up,
No, no,
man.
no, no. It's just a conversation. I feel like that a lot of times we as young, because everybody's entitled to their opinion. All jokes aside, I feel like a lot of times we speak to people, and when we have conversations with them, we build some sort of camaraderie with the people online. I'm talking about him and the people that's hyping him. So he built that, and now he has faith in them that they may protect him. So they say, "Yo, nigga, Flip ain't looking for nobody. Flip ain't coming to find my man." Oh, are you even in New York with him? And where you at? So he shouldn't let niggas amp him. He should be like, "Yo, man, Flip, Me and Flip would talk when I see him. That's how he should keep it and continue his opinion. That's how I feel. Don't let niggas hype you, man. These niggas is nasty. So
Man, I'm gonna let everybody on the internet do what they do.
I feel
I
you,
can't.
but
I ain't got no
you the first,
choice.
you the first nigga that was gonna hang out with them niggas downtown Brooklyn.
I ain't gonna hang with nobody. I went ahead and offered myself a platform and gave him an opportunity. That's all I did.
How,
I thought it was somewhat mutually
how was it?
beneficial, even though
How was it?
um the interview and all that, it was cool. It was
Yeah.
respectful.
I'm not arguing with you. Your man is ass, and I'm gonna smack him in his mouth when he says what he says to me. Period.
And just
My
listen,
man,
but
my man that knew him, they took me to all the spots. They took me to this gym he was at. They took me
yeah,
all everywhere. They took me. Yo, he be here. Oh, we went and we explored. We didn't see him. We didn't see. I told him DM me. He wouldn't DM me. So I was trying to keep it private till his man, one of them niggas say, yo, Flip ain't doing nothing. Flip ain't trying to find my man. Then that's when I came and did this. I didn't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
I I think y'all can have a cool.
Yeah, let me DM this nigga in front of everybody. So what's the nigga name? The music. What's this shit? Yeah, let's get it. Let's get to some action, baby. This is what. Now I'm not bringing you back up here, nigga. Said what you said. Suck my dick, nigga. Suck my dick. And I'm gonna violate your man worse. And I'm gonna violate your man worse today. Worse, nigga. Niggas is ass. What's that nigga Instagram? So I could DM him myself. Or slapping niggas in the mouth. Niggas, niggas is men. If I don't like what I hear.
So Joe Budden gaslighted the situation a bit, which was funny at the time, but it really made QueenzFlip jump out the window. QueenzFlip went online to say that the guy that was there on my behalf at the time pulled out mace on him and flash danced him, which I don't even know if that happened, but even if it did, that's basically snitching. This is the first video that I did based off of me and Flip's interactions, only because he has escalated content creators' reaction videos into trying to promote physical violence, along with telling the internet in the process, which isn't gangster to me. He is playing gangster games while being a content creator and trying to blend the two. He is bringing his son and filming. How would the world feel if something would have happened to his son? The world would have said, Dub, what kind of guy are you? That's why it's a catch-22. It's like a wild card, gray area, to all real black men. You see Flip not really, black, I think, and that's the issue. Joe Budden called out Tyler for not being black. I'm calling out Flip not being black. On the podcast, on the Patreon, it was like, they asked his cousin what's her nationality, and she said Haitian American. And Joe Budden said a joke like, oh, she Haitian white. That shit was mad funny to me, and I felt like that was an insider for black people. You would know what that means. QueenzFlip doesn't have those true black values that I may have, and I get it now. Cameron disrespected QueenzFlip crazy and told the world Flip was basically like a groupie to Dipset and was fiending to do skits and stuff with them. And Cameron said publicly that the only reason he didn't violate Flip OD is because he loves his son and his moms. But he also said he won't be messing with QueenzFlip the same way anymore, and he hasn't. QueenzFlip left that whole thing alone and only spoke positive about Cameron since. Why does QueenzFlip think he can play with Dub? So I made this video to say I'm standing on all my content 1000% and love doing it and will not change for anyone but myself. And I had a crazy person willing to play with Flip when I wasn't there. I think Flip shouldn't be playing around again. I wish him much success, but do not agree or like his ignorant content. I do like his addition to the podcast and bringing the funny content, but it has become cringe sometimes. And it's like the same thing over and over. He isn't really well versed in topics. You feel me? Like, he's good for segments. He's like improv, like, coming in, spicing, like, he's cool. He's a cool addition. But sometimes it's a dead end. It's not like a Drewski content where, it has a storyline. He's blending you into his projects, his tours. It's like, it's progressive. You know what I'm saying? QueenzFlip content doesn't give you anything more than that ignorance. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't even organize his platforms. Flip the script, flip the network, the callers, like, you know what I mean? He all over the place with it. You know what I'm saying? You got to master one thing. You can't be, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. And we'll be back with the files.
My guy Dub too. That's my man though.
Gang, gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.